Okay, welcome to All Around Town Radio here on a Friday afternoon. And folks, we're going to do a little recap of the week we've had, and it just keeps going. It seems like we keep working out there and keep things happening. We've had a heck of a week at JD Legends, our sponsor of Backstage Hall Pass, one of our shows here on allaroundtownradio.com. And on Saturday, this past Saturday, we were at the sold-out Aaron Lewis show. And we did a couple pre-show interviews there and had a great time at the Aaron Lewis show backstage with them. And, you know, one thing I'll tell you, though, a lot of people ask about, you know, why weren't we talking to the headliners? Well, number one, we're a, kind of a small outfit here, but certainly with that said, the headliners have contracts and they have music contracts and things that, you know, they have to be exclusive to the radio station that's bringing them there, some of those kind of things. And you know, one thing about Aaron Lewis is he's just a humble guy. I talked to him backstage and, he doesn't really do a lot of that. He just goes out, he sings, he's a powerful singer, and gets out on the stage and entertains those that pay ticket money to come see him. But pre-Aaron Lewis show, we had a great interview with a local band called the Jake Roberts Band, and I got to talk to Jake, and Jake, his country music is called outlaw country, and they play a lot of the old stuff, a lot of the old Hank and, you know, that kind of thing, and Waylon Jennings, and Jake Roberts, just a genuinely nice human being and a great guy, and his band, all of them the same way. Their fan club, they have got a heck of a following, and they are one of the hardest working bands around in the tri-state area. These guys are playing about 275 days a year. So, you know, that's a lot of work, and that's a lot of setting up, tearing down, and carrying your equipment around. So hats off to Jake Roberts. Check out his podcast on our site at allaroundtownradio.com. And also a little quick Facebook Live video we did backstage at the Aaron Lewis show with him on there as well. You can check that out with his guitar player, Tommy, who joined us on that one. And we also had unofficial Shane Smith. Now, I had a blast with these guys. These guys were a hoot. We had a good time, a great interview. And if you haven't checked that interview out, listen to it. And, you know, check all these guys out on social media. Unofficial Shane Smith, kind of a funny name, and they tell about it that in our video podcast, basically, that we did backstage prior to the show there, and you can check that out on our Facebook page as well. And, you know, Aaron Lewis came out to a sold-out crowd. He entertained the crowd for almost 2 hours, did a great job entertaining there and giving the people their money's worth that night at the Aaron Lewis show. So, again, JD Legends, a smashing success, sold-out show, about 2,000 people in the venue that night that were there, along with all the other action they've got going on. There's a, you know, JD Legends bar inside where they're doing live music in there. They have a great restaurant called Eli's and just a host of things and a bowling alley besides that. So it's kind of a one-stop shop for entertainment, JD Legends is. So if you're in the area, Franklin, Ohio, between Dayton, Cincinnati, that area, check out JD Legends. Come in, see a show, stop in one night and hear one of the local bands, because the local talent is incredible that plays in JD Legends. And then we moved on to Tuesday this week. Tuesday, Pink Ribbon Girls, K99.1 Concert for a Cause, and that was an incredible two-night event. First night, we got a chance to speak with Michael Rotundo from Trenton, Ohio, Cody Dench, playing with him, also a local musician, and they're just some other great, humble country music players. And those guys, their interview's up with us as well. We've got a Facebook interview with them on our Facebook page, and their audio interview will be up this week on our website as well if you want to listen to the audio podcast of Michael Rotundo and Cody Dench. And they kind of put the old school back in the new school, they call it. They play some new stuff, play some old stuff, and they opened that night for Dylan Scott. And Dylan Scott took the stage and just absolutely entertained the crowd with his song My Girl, and that's a #1 hit right now, and several other great songs there as he came out, and real crowd pleaser, one of those guys that just really interacts with his fans really well. And I was so impressed with him backstage as well. He was shaking hands with everybody, talking to everybody, standing out there listening to the opening act, you know, where a lot of headliners will end up in the bus or waiting, you know, for them to come out and play. He was back there and really mingling with everybody, and you can tell why he has such a great fan base. So that first night, Pink Ribbon Girls event, and I want to talk about the Pink Ribbon Girls for a minute. I had a chance to have Tracy Martin on. She's the founder of the Pink Ribbon Girls, and this is a cause that's very near and dear to my heart. Pink Ribbon Girls are a great, great charity, and if you're in the Dayton, Columbus, Cincinnati market at all, make sure you check out Pink Ribbon Girls. They are on pinkribbongirls.org. They're on a Facebook page called Pink Ribbon Girls. Go look at it and help donate to this cause, because all of their proceeds from these type of events go to their patients. And what they do is they provide transportation, they provide meals, they provide all kinds of services for women who are battling breast cancer or reproductive cancers. And I can't speak enough about this group. They work hard every day of the year, not just the month of October, but they work very hard every day of the year to take care of business there. And that first night brought $11,000 in proceeds that went to the Pink Ribbon Girls. A 2-day total on that event came in at $21,000. So a great event by JD Legends, the Pink Ribbon Girls, and K99.1 FM here locally, who brought some of the acts to us that night. So Dylan Scott that night, headliner, and then we moved into Wednesday night, and I just had a great night with some of the folks there that were opening up. Jared Stratton played the pre-party indoors in the JD Legends Lounge and Bar, and Jared Ray Stratton from Tyrone, Kentucky, and he's kind of a storyteller and does a great job of doing that, plays a smooth guitar, and has a great entertaining value. Jared Ray Stratton was one of the interviews, and you can catch that interview on our Facebook page also. And all these interviews, the audio podcast interviews, will be up this week on our website as well if you like to listen to the podcast version and don't have time to watch the video. And remember, you can subscribe to all of our content on our webpage at allaroundtownradio.com. It's in the background back there. But make sure you subscribe to that, and you can hit subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, all those sites that'll take you to the podcast, and it'll notify you every time we drop a new show. Also had a wonderful interview with Alexis Gomez. That name may ring a bell with you. She made the top 8 females in American Idol and one of the years of American Idol there. And Alexis is just a genuinely great young lady and put on a heck of a show that night. She got up there, a 3-piece act, and they just had a great time with the crowd. And Alexis is an entertainer. She's very sweet and does a great job of talking to her fans and entertaining the folks. So check out her interview also on our page. We've got a great video interview with her on Facebook, on our Facebook page at All Around Town Radio. Then I spoke with Dan Alley, Daniel Alley, as I refer to him, but Dan Alley, as his music pages say out there on social media. And he's a local boy out of Miamisburg, Ohio, who is really making it big. Daniel Alley is open for people such as the Highwaymen. He opened up for Steel Drivers, and then he opened the second night of this show for Midland, who was the headliner that night. And if you haven't caught Midland, what a different, I will say, group they are in country music today. They're going back to old school. They dress kind of like the old Dwight Yoakam, Hank Williams Jr. look. And these guys have a style of their own and fantastic 3-part harmonies that are just a wonderful group. They were on Jimmy Fallon the other night. They also are touring with Little Big Town right now and Casey Musgraves across the country. So we were very fortunate to have them on a stop. The next night, they played an event at the Cincinnati Zoo, actually, locally here. So Midland just climbing the charts and doing a great job, and they put on a heck of a show. But, Daniel Alley as well, I kind of stopped there and didn't talk too much about him, but he plays a classic country sound that is just very soothing to the ear, and he really kind of a good old boy and does a great job. And follow Daniel Alley on his social media. It's called Dan Alley out there, and check him out. And, I mentioned Tracy Martin earlier, the Pink Ribbon Girls founder, a great interview with her on Facebook also. Had a great time, and, using the term great a lot, it's because the whole concert series, the 2-part series, was great. A fantastic event, and $21,000 raised for the Pink Ribbon Girls. That's a lot of meals, folks. That's a lot of meals for the families. They provide meals 3 days a week for women who are suffering breast cancer for their families, which takes that burden off that female, because dad's usually at work still, and things like that are going on, or especially like single mom homes and things where they really need the help. Pink Ribbon Girls comes through, and they do so much for them. So please give to that cause if you can, and help our friends at the Pink Ribbon Girls out. Well, let's see, what else do we have? We have, we're not done. This week, we have a lot going on. I've got about 45 seconds here left to tell you. Tonight, JD Legends, the Brighton Boys out of Pittsburgh. It's a party band out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I'm going to go down and talk to them in just a few minutes, and we'll get a little interview up with them. And then tomorrow night, we round out the Pinktoberfest, and Pinktoberfest going on with all kinds of craft beers at JD Legends, and also 2 awesome groups, Shadow Life, and then one of my favorites also, Stranger, as they're my buddies from Stranger playing tomorrow night, JD Legends. They're going to be there for the Pinktoberfest event benefiting Pink Ribbon Girls. So we're not done with all that at all with the Pink events here at JD Legends. And we do want to thank JD Legends for all their support here on allaroundtownradio.com. They have provided us access to all these acts, and it's just been fantastic. So we'll bring you more interviews, guys. I'm going to sign off for now. I'm going to head down the road to JD Legends. We're going to talk to the Brighton boys tonight. We'll see you next time right here. And remember to look for those podcasts. They're coming up this week on allaroundtownradio.com.